NGA with currently the fastest attacking time on that first point here. A very interesting juxtaposition between these two teams. We know NGA took 36 seconds to get on towards that point. They hold the record, but that full hold from AllStrike's definitely going to be playing in their mind.
I guess what you're seeing here, Mitch. Maps, why are you playing? Mercury's not bad actually, because he's on the high ground.
Samsara's not playing Reaper. I'm just upset.
Okay.
Just upset.
Alright, it's okay. Well, maybe we'll see Reaper maybe a little bit later on, don't worry. But Rain's going to be running McCree as well, so we have the Cree battle off, the high noons against each other. You can see Maps going to be protected by Little Cat, and that Winston straight jumping in. They're not using a Reinhardt to defend with here, but NGA, they've already lost their first man. 91-39 jump straight in and take that Zen down.
Yeah, that's right. Little Cat falling down as well. Samsara, the knockback coming in here. He wants to challenge out onto the opposition. Dire and Fury falls down. This is a decent start here for AllStrike, but now the pressure's starting to come back. Maps gets himself 2 quick kills, and Samsara is going to be threatened in just a moment here over on this point. With East falling down, that leaves RLE to go for that last player. It is the captain. It's funny, there's 2 players in this tournament, Samsara and Tresor, both named after old lady perfumes. Just a fun fact.
I wonder how they smell them.
Like old ladies. Oh, you mean the players? I don't really know.
Yeah,
we can find out later.
The players. But that sounds less creepy if I talk about the perfume. So RLE about to have his Dragon Blade available. Not much he can do though. And Samsara is actually it's Fury who had it was Samsara who had ridiculously high energy. He was at I think 90 for a good portion of that, which is really hard to do against teams that don't have a Reinhardt where you have that free energy source coming through. And Maps picking up the double, most importantly from the far ground, was able to help hold on to this point.
So we actually see a 91-39 going on towards the right side here. He's trying to engage them, and now RLE is going to come in with the Dragon Blade as well. Look at that, it's a very soft and squishy backline that he's found himself. Gets himself both those kills, and the reflect coming in. He actually can escape now as well from East. So NGA put up far better defense than we've perhaps seen from them in the past against this team, and East is going to now fall. Little Cat gets a couple kills off the back of it, and one thing I have to say, one thing I enjoy about the Chinese teams, the quality of Zenyatta play is extremely good.
I'm really wondering though why 91-39 is basically going in by himself. He doesn't have anyone to follow up with. They have triple tanks, so they do have the nano boost, which ideally Youngbon will be putting on 91-39 so he can survive the damage and maybe burst down someone, potentially Little Cat who's going to have the Transcendence available. But this is going to be tough, and they keep committing this kind of strategy, but it's not worked in. The Graviton Surge coming in from behind. They actually flanked around behind them.
Nicely done there as well. The reflection coming out there. Rain's going to fall down early on. East gets the charge though. Getting rid of Fury's a big boon to them now, especially when Samsara can push ahead and be indomitable now. He wants to pressure down on towards his Genji, and RLE has to back away, but he has another Dragon Blade ready to go. But as he pulls it out, he gets knocked down. Fortunately, the cooldown gets refunded, but he may not have a chance to contest here as NGA being shunted off the point.
So that was an engagement that NGA went for with the Graviton Surge that AllStrike's actually winning out on. We see this happen so many times in general in the Chinese region, and I'm not sure exactly why teams force a fight that they actually end up losing, but nonetheless, Map still has the Deadeye. They still have big ultimates available. They just haven't had the opportunity to use it because of a great Earthshatter coming in on the RLE to shut down that Dragon Blade.
Half of NGA was on the other side though, that's the thing. They're counting on the Graviton Surge to tie them together, so the long-range players off to the right side of NGA can get damage done, but there was shields up there. There was the Reinhardt, of course, in play for AllStrike. He's able to stop a lot of the damage coming through. So then it was just a Genji and a Zarya from the backside for NGA to actually follow up on the Graviton Surge, which is not really enough there. We kind of saw what happened, and good little follow through as well from AllStrike. So they're on the move now. Samsara well on the way to his next Graviton Surge, but now we actually see the Nano Booster Winston coming in from the backside here as well, but Map's very confident in dealing with this now. He's going to lead the Winston to his own devices and maybe even get the kill. The Discord Orb making life a lot easier, but RLE has already wreaked havoc on the rest of that team. He did have a Dragon Blade from before. He did pull it out, but the animation got cancelled and he was able to bring it out again later on. So that's a team white coming out here from NGA. And the defense looks a lot more solid here.
They can see the respect as well to 91-39 there. Even though he had nano boost, he still held off and didn't chase Maps down, which ideally in that situation, like, alright, I can easily pick up these kills, but with the positioning Maps went through, with him actually rolling away, going towards that corridor to the right, so he has a health pack to actually pick up while healing from supports, he knew he couldn't take that 1v1, he couldn't pick up enough damage to actually solidify those kills, but now AllStrike have so many ultimates available, and Earthshatter came in onto the front line of NGA, but there's no kills happening because the Transcendence is now here.
Yeah, Maps is being forced out to the back as well. The shield was in his way. Now he's looking for East. He picks him up there. It's going to be RLE helping out. The Discord Orb doing his job. Maps going to have to back away here, but it's a sound barrier for NGA. They can hold through this heat. We can take down 91-39, and now there are no tanks really left here. Samsara are going to fall very, very quickly, and AllStrike are going to be shunted off here, sent back to the spawn with their tails between their legs. And this is not working for them now. But we see the switch. No more Winston for 91-39. The Roadhog comes in. East, instead, going to switch off Reinhardt to Winston himself.
So what I really wanted to see was 91-39 center. Winston would have been fine. The problem is they need a Genji to dive into the backline against Maps. They don't have a Mercy to keep him alive. So the potential in a 1v2 it should be impossible. The problem is AllStrike don't have a Genji player. Just like we saw with Detonator, there was no McCree player, and you can't really go expect to be like a top team if you can't afford to play a hero like that you're going to need. Arlie just get a nice reflex off. The Graviton Surge is doing work.
Yeah, it's going to do work indeed. Fury able to pick up 9139. The Dragon Blade as well coming out here for NGA. They're getting good ults when they need them, and it's enough to hold AllStrike back. This is such a ballsy positioning here to take. Sometimes you might hold this spot for the first fight as, you know, that point is taken, then back away down the street, but NGA don't want to give up any ground. Now, look, often the problem with team comps that stack tanks is that you lack the ability to get into the backline in general, right? Just a Winston, it's not enough. It's not sufficient, because he can get burst down very easily, even like we saw before when he's being nano boosted.
And the important part is that NGA is not using Ana. They're still holding this without using Ana. That just shows how coordinated they're being and how well they're attacking this. They're finally going to concede some ground, though. Fury only has about 50% on his ultimate, so not really have a chance. And Rain, a little bit far pushed up here. That Graviton Surge is going to be good. There's no shields to actually stop this one. There's going to be a reflect coming through, but it has fallen off in time, and Rain picks himself up a single.
Yeah, now we can see the Winston with Primal Rage running through. Shadowcat able to get himself one kill, but again, where's the penetrating power? It's just not present there. Rain showing up here a little bit more on that McCree, but Maps has safe positioning. He's able to step back, but now he gets hooked in so much for safe positioning. Caster's Curse, if I've ever seen it, and it should be AllStrike able to push forward finally now and get that payload rolling to the checkpoint. But they have been definitely drawn quite low. A lot of time is bled through here in the streets phase.
Yeah, a lot of time. Only 36 remaining as they do cross that checkpoint. 2 minutes on the board now, and AllStrike, they do have a good amount of ultimates to actually use. They have the Whole Hog Nano Boost combo, which can tear through NGA when they have really no shields to stop it, but the reflect out of RLE is going to be crucial. If AllStrike can bait it out, then they have a pretty clean fight, to be honest. It just depends if Maps can hit a good Deadeye, followed up with the Graviton Surge out of here.
This is a dream comp for a McCree to play into now. We see the Graviton Surge coming out, and RLG, a good amount of damage coming over the top, but it's 3 for Maps there. Must be the Deadeye getting involved, and now Shadowcat going to be jumping forward. It's going to be a nice little wipe there for NGA. AllStrike fall apart. Just as I was saying, this is a dream for Maps. He makes it happen. The Graviton Surge already makes it hard to break free of and try and challenge down the McCree, but AllStrike don't have the composition to do so anyway. Samsara back towards the Reaper now as well. Makes me sound like less of an idiot. Perhaps this is more of a desperation play or a comfort pick.
They don't even have a Reinhardt to hide behind a shield. They don't have a Transcendence to stop. I would say a Zen here counters NGA so hard because you know they're not going to play Ana. A Transcendence will not be stopped. I mean, obviously they can burst you through with the Deadeye, but it allows you to play a little bit more aggressive in terms of how these fights are going to go. And the Deadeye for Maps is going to be up again here. We already picked up a triple in the last fight. He's being forced up by the primary Winston. It looks like he's not going to die for this. Immediately he's just going to turn away and he leaves it to his own device. He's going to pick himself up a double again.
No, it's going to get one. It's going to be the 11-5-20 going to fall down now, and Samsara pressing forward. He has himself an Nano Boost, and now AllStrike starting to put up ahead of steam, but RLE might be able to slow this one down. Gets 2 kills, and it's going to be Ace just jumping off the edge. He realizes he lacks the teammates for this one, and now inside of a minute left for AllStrike. They need to deal with Maps. They need to deal with this McCree, and even RLE causing so many problems. It's 2 threats on NGA that are not being answered by AllStrike.
And it's a threat that hasn't been answered for the entirety of this game. That's what's really kind of disappointing if you're looking at AllStrike. Another Graviton Surge to be coming through. Samsara's going to get pulled in. Not going to wraith him away because he feels confident enough, but RLE has the potential to get these resets. It just dashes through him. He's going to pick up a second kill. Is anyone going to deal with it? He gets a 3rd kill with these dashes, finally! Rain will take him down, but the damage is done. He picks himself up a triple, and Samsara with the Death Blossom isn't going to accomplish much when you have 13 HP, son. And that's going to be it. NGA are going to hold.
Yep, NGA trade 3 for 4 in that fight, and they're more than happy enough losing the plays there. Nicely done here, and a good hold for NGA. Maps just having an absolute dream there as well. I always considered this, him cleaving to McCree to be a potential weakness of this team, but when you can't exploit it, when you can't jump on top of the McCree and challenge him out at close range, that's where he really gets to shine. NGA have done a very good job of facilitating for Maps to do that, especially when RLE is taking so much attention away, or sometimes even not. He's in the back line and no one's looking at him there. Gets 2 kills on towards Yongban, especially the Ana falling down at that part of the fight is just devastating for AllStrike. They need to adapt to this, Jason.
I'm not sure why they haven't either. It's got to be a lack. It has to be a lack of hero pool, right? It has to be the fact that they're not playing a Genji or a Tracer to combo in with this. Like, you jump on him with 2 people, the chance of him surviving should never happen. Like, you should never be able to get away from this. And yet, even with the Winston jumping directly on top of him, Maps, he's saving his roll, he's saving his shift to get away from Winston every single time. And I believe they're losing speed enough to get away. You can't really lock him down. And
I don't know if he's putting that on. I mean, to be fair, now he'd be mad.
Maybe that's his resting face.
Resting what face?
Resting face.
Resting.
I don't want to say the other word. But I still want to know, like, you can obviously say that NGA is doing a good job knowing that they can play McCree with Maps, or Maps with McCree, and not really be punished.
See him on the screen now.
I'm really confused why they're not able to punish this.
So
it's like seeing a Winston and having him wreck you, and then wondering, well, how do we counter the Winston? You go Reaper.
Why is this composition from AllStrike not working? Why, okay, we talked about them not building, not being able to deal with them in the creep, but why is it not working in and of itself? Anna's there for Nano Boost. You have those 3 tanks. What is missing?
Nano Boost is great, but it's not going to stop the Genji. Who's going to go for the Genji with the Nano Boost? Reaper maybe, but Genji can just dash away, he can jump up. You're not going to be able to stop him. You need a McCree to potentially take care of him, or use your Winston to sit on top of him. The problem was that AllStrike was using their Winston to jump onto maps.
So the theme today, Jason, I guess, is just a Roadhog is not enough to deal with a good flanker.
To hope for a hook to hit, to count on a hook to win a fight like that, that's too much pressure to put onto one little play. You need to have more different avenues to actually successfully win an attack.
So what if Samsara plays a little bit closer to his backline then as that Reaper, you know, to try and deal with flankers?
I don't necessarily want to say Reaper's that good at dealing with flankers. I mean, he's okay against Tracer because he has a lot of HP, but Tracer can generally dance around him as you get lucky RNG. But in the meantime, we have to kind of look at how AllStrike's defending, because they've been able to do this against SKG, the team that won the playoffs, to defend on this first point. And Maps already takes down 91-39. The Maze now eliminated, and this is looking good for NGA to take this point.
And Samsara going down. Both the damage dealers are missing here for AllStrike already. All of the onus is on Rain here, and the rest of the tanks from AllStrike. And so far, they're not doing too badly here. He needs to be able to hold through this onslaught, and even he's getting on towards Shadowcat here. That's a very big effort from the supports and tanks for AllStrike, especially given that Samsara and 91-39 were picked off first.
Yeah, Rain did work though. He picked himself up a triple on that kill with only about, what, 50 energy, now 30 is sitting at. That's definitely hard to do, but they've been able to hold off NGA even though Maps got that quick early kill on 91-39, was a little bit overextended because of that flashbang catching him out on. But in the meantime, NGA, once like the Dragon Blade comes up and he pairs with Fury, it's going to be hard as a Zen, as 11-5-20 to actually stay alive in this fight. So he's going to have to use his Transcendence very defensively just to keep himself up.
Well, 11-5-20 has to stay pretty safe here. He has a Transcendence, but he was a bit low. But Samsara and Beast now doing the work, and Map's trying to knock on the front door here. It doesn't really seem to be working out that well for him. The Nano Boost was used for Samsara, and it was at least enough here to force NGA back.
Well, what's weird is they're actually continuing to knock on the front door instead of going to high ground here, because they don't have a Reinhardt to sit behind to challenge out against the Reaper. Samsara can just hide off into the corner. A Maywall can come down. So they don't have the safety to go in this direction every time. That's why they've been kind of shying away from it. I like to see them actually swing around towards the park on the left side to actually catch them off guard and kind of get a good position. Let RLE work in front and pair with Fury.
So here's a dive cop there as well. You can see that RLE was trying to go in with Fury, but Hysteria falling fairly early on. Samsara's in a good position here to deal with it, but the Transcendence is going to come in over the top. It's going to be Little Cat getting the kills in for the rest of his team. It's going to have responded, and now the Blizzard laid down over the point, but NGA have been able to back away from this one. RLE dashes on out of trouble. He was very low on health and gets away and gets the kill at the same time. Now a Graviton Surge is going to be Shuriken after Shuriken thrown in there. He gets on towards 91-39. He was so low in that fight, and now RLE just having to deal with the Winston. Maybe not the matchup you hoped for, but the Winston East was so low in that one. He has to back away, and now he might have been fall. But no, it's going to be the Nano Boost coming on towards the Winston now. More for stall than anything else, and maybe not the optimal target, but it might just be enough.
They ignored him. They completely ignored him. Went straight for Youngblood to stop his and let Winston do his work in towards your backline. But once you take their Ana out, he has nothing else to protect him. You're going to have reinforcements a lot quicker than AllStrike will have. And now RLE with the Dragon Blade, there's just no way you're going to escape this.
And there's no peel as well. There's no one to protect the squishier targets in the backline here for AS. And RLE able to do a lot of damage there. We saw East stall for a heck of a long time, because after the Nano Boost came in, he did have a Primal Rage to work with. But eventually NGA moved forward. Maps was able to take advantage of the fact that the point was already in chaos. He sort of came in as a second line and was able to pick off 2 kills.
All right, so now moving into the next phase, into the streets. Maps, he's going to go for this. He's going to set up behind them. He's going to Deadeye. So this forces the rest of NGA to be really aggressive. Look at RLE actually switch off the Genji to go to Tracer to dive in towards the back with Fury, but also cause more of a distraction. And ideally pull off that post-bomb Graviton Surge combo, because they don't have a Lucio to actually heal them up to stop this from bursting them down. And Maps is in a prime position. I don't know exactly where he is, but I know he's on the high ground. I know he's behind them. You can see him off to the right every few seconds with the X-ray. They spotted him out?
They spotted him out there. Okay. I saw 91-39 turning to face him. So I don't know what Maps is going to do when he's going to come in for this one there as well. He's channeling the Deadeye right now. He gets nothing though. It's all of AllStrike pushing forward. They're trying to engage off of that one, but they just run straight into the waiting arms of the rest of NGA. So Maps now a lot of presence, a lot of threat in the backlines, and Samsara trying to break dance, but he's cut short there. I guess that's going to be the red gong on that performance.
So the problem was, with the pressure Maps was applying from the high ground behind them, AllStars had to commit to a frontline push. Because they don't have anyone, they don't have a Winston or a Genji to jump onto the backline to him to actually take the fight directly to Maps, pick him up, and have a 6-on-5 fight. So they choose to fight into the front with a man advantage, but Maps picking up the kill long range with just auto attacks. Even though the Deadeye didn't pick up any kills, it forced them into maybe some disadvantageous positions. and it gave NGA the fight. But now we're seeing AllStrike go for the attack again, trying to hold.
Good response to 9139 jumping in there. You can see all of NGA just trying to back up a little bit there as well. Samsara finally gets a chance to break the moves down. He gets himself two, but now caught in the Graviton Surge, and Maps is free at the backline. Nanoboost is going on towards the Reinhardt here. He's looking for his next target. Keep the shield up now, comes forward. Maps having to back away, but there's no escaping this man. One more hit and he'll be done. Even with the Discord Orb, he's just able to get the dirty work done.
Alright, so finally they're able to kill Maps. That's one of his first deaths, I think, this entire series prior to the first two unsuccessful attacks out of NGA. But Fury's still trying to swing away. Urchin even coming in. That might have been a little bit of an overcommitment out of AllStrike, just trying to maintain the hope. They've already lost quite a few people.
The checkpoint
taken?
Oh, they moved off the payload there. Someone got in over the top. I think it was Fury who jumped over their heads and got it over the line. A big misstep for AS. They needed to stand on the payload, but they thought to follow up on the Earthshatter. They wanted to come forward and chase the kills, and they played themselves.
Remember, it's just based off distance. They did not complete the map, AllStrike, when they were attacking, and they have to hold directly under this. This is too hard. This is extremely hard to hold on to. All it takes is one good ultimate, one good fight. When you have almost 3 minutes as NGA, AllStrike have to do something amazing.
Transcend's coming in. This is going to be it. NGA going to push forward there. 9139 falling. He had a primal range. He's not going to have a chance to use it now. It's all about NGA. They're all over the kill feed. Now with the Graviton Surge coming in, they don't mind. There's no one there to follow up on it, and they're just going to help the payload get across the line. NGA out of the gates, very strong here on Numbani. Yes, just rigid, reluctant to adapt and change, or maybe not even reading the pattern here, Jason.
I think they obviously know. They have. I mean, they're too good of a team to not realize the problem of Maps on McCree. They're too good to know, or too good to not know that. But they haven't built up an answer for it. They have not found a solution. Is it that complicated?
In your opinion?
It depends. It depends. Are they not used to playing with Genshin? Do they not have a competent Genshin player? So I find it really hard to be one of the best teams in China and not have a competent Genshin player.
Can play Genshin, just wasn't nearly as dominant as you've seen on
like,
other heroes.
it's nice to have a Winston,